All right, I'm going to do a quick overview of how to use Constellation Carver on both web and Windows. So if you're on web, you can navigate to the itch.io page. This is what it looks like. This is the first time splash screen, so if you've never used the app, you don't have any projects, then you will see this. So you just can click on the new project button and enter a name for your project. This is just going to be the name of the folder that contains the pages. So I'll just call this my new website. Click confirm, and it's going to make a default page. So you can see here, this is the project list, and here's your project, my new website. You can go up here, click on new project when you want to make a different one. So this is what the page looks like. Up top, we've got tabs for project, page, objects in the page, and then there's also a log. So here on the objects page, you can see a list of every item in the page. And if you've made websites or for Constellation Carver before, you'll know that this is what it looks like, right? So you got your format with the title, and then inside the content are each of the content items. So we got one image, one paragraph, one separator, one button. If you go back here, you'll see same thing, image, paragraph, separator, button. You can also click right in here to select something. So that's an image. It's just 16 by 16 here. So it's pretty small, but we could make it much bigger. Now you can see that's what 128 by 128 would look like. If you want to make new content on the page, you can go to the Objects tab and use the Create New Object button. Now the way this works is it will insert it above the location of the selected item if you have something selected. So if you want to insert it all the way at the top, you can select the top item, which is this right here, this paragraph, index 0. Hit Create Object and make a new, let's say a button. And then bam, it inserts it up at the top. If you don't have anything selected, you can hit Create New Object and it will insert it all the way at the bottom. So we'll hit that again. And here's our new button all the way at the bottom. We don't have a what you see is what you get type of editor yet. So right now margins aren't implemented. The font is obviously different. The buttons don't look like anything like they look in the app, and images aren't previewable yet, but you are able to edit pages that will show up how you expect them to on in the app. All right, so if you want to edit something in the page, you can just click on it. And so I don't want this lorem ipsum stuff anymore, so I'll just make a new paragraph. This paragraph introduces a website to the viewer. This is what a few line breaks looks like. And again, click apply and you'll see it updates immediately. Now if you make changes and you don't want to keep them, you can just click over to a different tab and it'll reset, or you can click into a different item. It only saves if you press the apply button. And after you're done editing your page, you'll want to go to page and hit save here to actually fully save the page file. And by default, your first page is going to be index. This is also where you can change the title. You can make new pages here, so I can make a new page. You don't have to enter .json, but you can if you want to. It's not going to make a difference. And you'll get the default page again. Once you're done editing your page, just select the page you want to export. You can do these one at a time on web, and it will export them as a JSON you can copy. So you'll go to File and click Page as JSON. Here's the JSON, so just go ahead and Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and then you can paste this, into Notepad. Just make a new thing here. See, I can just paste this here, and then you can save this wherever you want to work on your project on your computer. And if you want to import a page from outside the editor on web, you can go to Import Page as JSON. It's going to open up a pop-up window with a text box. You can paste your code in here. This is the code provided on the Constellation browser homepage. And then you can hit confirm. You'll have to give it a file name. You don't need to include the .json. And here you go. Here's the imported page content. You can see it's here in the list. The web version does not support importing or exporting from files at the moment, but the Windows build does. So I'll show you how that looks here now. So you'll download the Windows build. It'll be in a zip file. You can export this into a folder and then just run the exe. All right, so here is Constellation Carver on Windows. The layout looks exactly the same, at least for now. But in this one, we have actual file access. So you can click this button to show your project folder on disk. It's going to be in app data, roaming projects. We'll just copy this folder over. This is a website with like many pages and buttons and stuff already going on. So I moved that into the project folder. I'll just click away and then back to have it refresh the list. So now if I go in the list, you'll see here's my website. And now it'll load it right away. So on this site, I've got, a long list of images. Now, if you click on something in the list, it'll take you right to it. Same deal if you click on it here, it'll scroll right down to it. I'll show you how style works. You can select any object, go to the style tab. If it has the style set already, it will be in this list. So for example, this text has a center text align style and it has margins for top and bottom set. If I wanted to make it left align, I could just hit left and then click apply, and you'll see now it looks like it's on the left. If you look on the JSON tab, you'll see that automatically adds and removes the style variables based on if it matches the default or not. So if I were to set the text back to if I want to set it back to center, I can go in here, and since it's not in this list, that's just telling you that it hasn't been set, it's just the default. So you can click it there. So now you can see I have a text align, I can set it to center, I can hit apply, and bam, there's the data. So like this, if you want, you can just grab one object at a time and copy and paste this over into your file manually if you want. That way you can just kind of quickly lay out paragraphs and lists and stuff. So here's an example of a list. You'll see here's the JSON for it. And in the content tab, you'll have a scroll bar with list items that you can select, and they become editable here. And we use the same markdown as you would use if you were writing it manually. If I want to add, there's an add above or add below button. So right here, I can just click one to add right above, and here's my new my list entry. Dang, right there. Then there is a delete button. So if I want to delete this one, I can just click that, bam, it's gone. And same deal for this, you need to click apply to save your changes, and then bam, there it is. And here's the JSON. You can see that all got edited. Another nice feature of working on Windows is since you have your folder structure with all your pages, you can see all of your pages at a glance in this nice list. It also has the directory listed in front, so you can stay very organized. If you try to switch pages when you have modified a page but not saved it with the save button, it'll warn you. If you confirm, you will discard your changes, and yep. Now, since you're on Windows and the files actually do get saved and modified as you work on them, when you click this save button, you can actually just go ahead and go to your project folder with this button, and then you can just grab the whole folder and copy and paste it to whatever you want. You can move it to your desktop, you can upload it to your web server where you're hosting, and everything will be just as it should be. So this is in early access still. There's a lot of features I want to implement before I would call it version 1.0. My roadmap for going towards 1.0, where we're at now, is here. Basically right now I'm looking at fixing some bugs and implementing some features that are kind of discrepant between Windows and the web build, and making sure that all the different style variables and stuff all work for every type of item. I know I have a couple bugs. So one of them is the list item doesn't seem to be working with styles right now, but generally it is working pretty well. Going towards 1.0, we're going to have margins working, so you can see how margins affect the layout of your page. I want to support loading images in, whether that's from a PNG file or something you've already converted on the website provided by Particle Studios. We also don't have much going for reel support right now. It can read them from JSON and save them back, but there's no real good editing for it. I actually don't really have my head wrapped around reels just yet, as I haven't worked with them. They're a pretty new feature. And I'd also like to implement some templates, so you could, make your own. You can change your own page template. That way, when you make a new page, it doesn't, have things you don't want, or maybe it has some extra things you do want. Also want to support copying. Duplicating content on the page. Right now you have to make a new item and then kind of manually copy over this stuff, but we'll get that working. And also across pages would be nice too. And then going forward after that, eventually, assuming that people find some use out of this, I'd like to support extra fonts. I'd like to support inline images, rendering text and images together into an image. That way, you can have font that kind of goes around inline content, and it looks nice on Constellation Carver. A bit of a hack, but I think that would be a cool thing to pull off. As well as, if you're using other fonts for headers or whatever kind of effect you want, just being able to generate images that go right into the page for you. I think that'd be useful. A simple asset browser for browsing images and stuff on your computer and importing them would be nice. I also would like to implement a dual page viewer, so having one page in the center and a second page that you can pull up. That way you can kind of compare between pages in real time. And really the end goal is for this to be what you see is what you get in the editor. I'd like it to look in the editor exactly the same as it looks on your Playdate. Right now there's a number of things that aren't the same, such as margins and font size and like kerning, and it's a lot of little things like that, but they all add up. But for right now, it is a useful editor for laying out your page and editing it and stuff. You just have to go and take a look at it on the Playdate to make sure it looks how you want it to look. All right, so that's Constellation Carver. If you have any questions, or if you find any bugs, or if you have any suggestions, please feel free to hit me up in the Discord. My name's Tarnished Moth. I hope this is useful for you.